How you going, guys? It's Benji from West Coast Paint Studio. So we're going to go through and show you a basic, gritty, grimdark Space Marine. Alright, so we're going to go 1 part flow improver, 1 part thinner, 2 parts bold titanium by Acryl. So some people will mix this in a separate mixing bowl. I mean, if you put your flow improver and thinner in first, you'll be alright and paint afterwards. Because we have chosen white for the main colour for our armour here, we're going to get a nice coat of the white. Obviously leaving some shadows, which is going to help us in the next few steps. We're going to start blocking in with some Pro Acryl Burnt Red, one of our favourites. Wax seals, loincloths, everything that we're going to paint red. Obviously the Pro Acryl range doesn't need a lot of thinning here, and the overspray, we're going to block this all out with the black here, with the coal black. Leather pouches, guns, armor joints, all these things are going to get a good coat of coal black. We're going to grab the Dark Umber by Pro Acryl, and we're just going to hit all the leather pouches with this. Alright, so we're going to go on to the oil wash using the Soilworks oil wash. I don't think you need to gloss varnish anything. You're just going to put this on liberally. Obviously it's a grim, darkish type of model, so just liberal everywhere. Clean it off with a cotton bud. Better off to use a makeup sponge, to be honest. Metallics, we're going to use bronze, copper and rich gold by Monument Hobbies. These are, I absolutely love these. We use them daily here in the studio, and every single one of our artists, we absolutely love the Pro Acryl range. It's been amazing. So you're going to hit all your metallic pieces with this. So you can either hold your model up to a light source, and you'll see here I'm painting the copper, which is now our mid-tone for our metallics, where the model is actually getting hit. Alright, leather pouches, so 70% dark umber, 30% burnt red by Pro Acryl. Really going to focus on the edges, cross-hatching, things like this to create texture damage for the pouches. I'm going to go ahead and mix in some gold and yellow to that previous mix. Really focus on the edges of the pouch, which is going to push this damaged effect even further, which is what we want to do here. Alright, so as you can see, we have some fairly worn leather, which has come out pretty good. Very equal parts by bold pyro red and orange from Pro Acryl. We're going to go through and do a similar cross-hatching technique on these cloths here. Really just creating texture. The more texture we create, especially with things like cloth and leather, the better the model will look. So you're going to go over this, obviously smaller and smaller each time, adding more gold and yellow just to really punch those highlights. Unfortunately, I didn't capture this. This is sort of your end product. Purity seals, so we're going to grab some ivory. You're going to go through and give this a good base coat. Depth, we're going to apply some Agrax Earth Shade to all the purity seals on the model. Alright, once that wash is semi-dry, you're going to grab some of your original ivory and re-highlight your purity seals. We're going to come back through with the Chaos Black, and I really like to put my brush on almost a 45 and drag when I'm freehanding script. Obviously everyone's different. Try not to go face on. Normally that will curl your tip of your brush and it won't come out very nice. Alright, so because we've obviously oil washed, we need to bring this back up the shade. So we're going to grab our ivory. I'm going to go through and find all your edges you think you can apply a nice highlight to. I don't feel like going through and edge highlighting every single piece of armor is something anyone wants to do on a good day. Obviously this is a very quick tutorial. We're probably talking less than an hour to get this done. Kneecaps, hands, things that are quite dominant to the eyes. Alright, so our gun needs to be highlighted, so we're going to grab some coal black and ivory with a 70-30 mix. You'll get this bluish grey tint for weapon casings, which I pretty much do this on all black weaponry. We'll get into wear and tear, so I like to just grab a little bit of sponge, rip it off so the ends aren't equal. Dip it in a little bit of coal black from Pro Acryl. I'm just going to dab it on places where you think it's going to get damaged. Feet, shoulder pads, helmet, anything like that. Once you've done that, what I like to do is get a really bright silver gunmetal, and then we're going to go inside of all those dots. Obviously underneath the paint is going to be bare metal. This is really going to help build that realism to the model. Really just allows it to go that extra mile. Our lenses, so we've got Jade by Pro Acryl here. We are going to lay a base foundation of that inside the lenses, and then we're going to mix the 70-30 with the ice yellow as we go up to highlighting the lens flare. Sometimes I like to flip my model upside down. Obviously I'm a left-hand painter, so this allows me to get to lenses a lot easier. Highlighting the lenses, so top right with your ice yellow mixture, 70-30 with the Jade from Pro Acryl of both lenses. Heat muzzle effect on the barrel of the gun, so you want to grab your Drakenhof Nightshade to the very tip, around 25%. The next is going to be your Druchi Violet, the following 25%. Alright, for the base, so what you're going to do is grab some pigments and pigment fixer. I like to put them in a spare bottle. You're just going to cover the base of that and allow that to dry. Grab some bold pyrrole red. Once that's dried, you're going to come through and do some slight highlights. On the backpack vents, I did actually use some AK fluoro blue, which I didn't get footage of. Also in our bio, we do have codes for Whaling Games and One in Hobbies. This supports us a ton. Cheers, guys.